Probably the most asked question I get asked when it comes to growing berries is, how in the world do you keep birds away from them? And while there's no simple answer to that question, I can tell you some of the things that I've noticed through the years of growing berries that will answer a lot of your questions. But the quick answer is, a lot of people use a lot of different methods. For instance, when you grow strawberries, some people paint rocks red. Some people even hang CDs from whatever they can hang from, thinking that the reflection will actually deter birds and keep them away from everything. I've even seen people put rubber snakes on the rows of their plants, and people cover their berries with nets or whatever kind of mesh material to keep birds from eating them. And while all that sounds great, there's really no true way of stopping a bird from getting any of your berries. As a matter of fact, there's a thing called the bird tax, and that's basically accepting the fact that the birds are going to get their fair share. But there's ways you can help limit what they take. But first, before I show you, I want to explain there's some variables to what berries they take, in my opinion, because throughout the years, I have seen them take blueberries, I've seen them take strawberries, I've seen them take blackberries, but there is something going on that I've noticed, and that is the number one berry that they take is usually the smallest berries. And what I mean is blueberries are their number one favorite berry to go after, and that's no exaggeration. They love blueberries. I think it's because they can take them, they're small enough, and they can go on about their way and get what they want and leave. Now, that's not saying that they don't get strawberries and blackberries. I'm just saying that the smaller the berry, the better off the chances they have to just take it and vanish. So really and truly, I fully expect any given day that these blueberries just be gone from this whole container setup that I have here. Because once the birds realize that they're ripe, they should show up and start trying to take them one by one. And that just leads me to say that if you notice any other large fruits being messed with by birds, what they have done first is check to see if it was ripe, or they have just went to try to take it and notice it was too big for them to run off with. And when you notice a bird has messed with a blackberry, you can see that they've actually picked around it some, and the juices are flowing on this thing. They didn't take the whole blackberry, but what they do first is they pick around it, and that's how they eat it. They don't really fly off with a blackberry. Now, one thing I failed to mention was that birds are really smart, and they only go after the ripe berries. So any of the red blackberries you see going on right here, they're not ripe, obviously, and they're not being messed with, but birds seem to really know which berries are ripe, and that's what they go play with first. So I've told you several different methods I heard of through the years, which is putting net over your berries, coloring rocks, and a whole lot more. But here in North Carolina, we use a thing called a bluebird house. Now, I'm not talking about going out and buying one of those Taj Mahal big bird houses that you see that cost $200. I'm talking about a simple bird house that looks a lot like this right here. You can make them out of cedar fence post pickets with one of them, as a matter of fact. So you don't have to go out and buy something that costs a lot of money. You can put 2 or 3 of these on your property. But really, truly, if you go buy one, they're maybe $20. And I know that sounds kind of counterproductive to invite a bird into your yard when you're trying to deter birds from eating your berries. But bluebirds are territorial. They try to shoo every single thing out of your yard because they want to protect their home. And so that's what they'll do. They'll protect the whole territory that they live in, and they don't even eat berries. They really only eat insects. And so go get you a few of those bird houses and put them close to where you're going to plant your berries at, because that way they'll protect your area where your berries are going to be from other birds. Now, one last thing I'm about to show you is how I protected my strawberries this year that I grew, that I think a lot of you will be intrigued and even will consider building it in the future to make sure you always get your strawberries and nothing else gets them. This is my raised garden bed that I intentionally did not fill all the way up to the very top, because I knew I was going to cover my strawberries this exact way to make sure we could protect them from critters. Now, this is a pretty deep raised bed, but really truly the dirt only goes up to this second board, and this area is where my leaves are growing. And then this is just a lid I built with chicken wire on the top, just like this right here, to cover up my strawberry plants. That way, again, nothing can get to them. So if you're looking to grow strawberries, maybe you need to look into building you something like this right here, especially if you know you got a bird problem, because this has helped me tremendously this year with growing my strawberries and making sure nothing else gets to them. So to really make sure that birds really don't get your berries, I think it's a combination of several different things. I think it really boils down to the type of berry you're deciding to grow, and it also depends on how you're going to try to protect it. I will also say that blueberries are prone to be taken over and gotten by birds in general. I also can say blackberries are the same way. However, you'll notice when birds are messing with them. I'll also tell you that strawberries are the exact same way as blackberries. You'll see when birds are messing with them. But if you build things like bird houses or a special place to make sure you have those berries or plants protected, then really truly that helps eliminate your bird issue. Like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a lot of different variables when it comes to protecting your berries. But if you listen to this video, I'm sure all that's going to help you out a ton. And if you want to support us, make sure you go check out our website and go check out all of the plants that we offer. So if you want to grow your own berries, we will ship them straight to your door. We appreciate y'all.